on, everybody? Welcome to episode 1097 of Flow Wrestling Radio Live. I'm your host, Christian Piles, joined today to my right. It's a snow day, actually, here in Austin, Texas. As close as we get, we've got one. To my right, James Dean Rader in his best snowy protective windbreaker. To the left, Andrew Spey, everyone's favorite slumlord here at Flow Sports. And to the left, Tyler's parents got a real nice marriage. Mr. 8 Mile himself. Look at this absolute thug. What is wrong? Get your eyes out.
It's cold.
You look nuts, bro.
My eyes are cold.
Don't do the show like that. There's things you need to look at on the computer.
It's snowing in Austin, Texas.
It is snowing. All the schools are canceled. It was actually kind of a bad drive in. The interstates were good, but the side roads. Are we heroes?
This is
Or
not,
are we dancer?
not the first time I've risked my life for this show. Just want to put that out there.
What was the other time?
Every time I take the roads to come in work is a potential life-altering experience.
It's true.
That's true. Yeah.
The roads were pretty bad. They don't have road treatment like for icy roads and stuff here, and I don't think they know how ice melt works either.
No.
Like they just dump a big pile right at the front of like a building, and then they leave the rest of the sidewalk uniced.
That's fine.
Unsalted.
That's fine. All right, big show. We have a ton to get to today. The weekend slate of duels are massive. You got UNI Oklahoma State, Rutgers versus Penn State. You've got Iowa taking on Ohio State. A host of other duels. Going to be very exciting. But are we starting with big news, Tyler?
We got big news.
We got big news.
Out.
I almost teased it last night, and I was like, you know what? The last news I tweeted, it gets the people looking around. What's going on? What are they about to announce? Then it gets out. So I was like, you know what? I had a little tweet, and then I deleted it. And I was like, I'm not going to say anything. Big news. National duels are back and coming with a big cash prize. This is very, very exciting stuff. This has been a topic of discussion for some time. David Taylor tweeted about it a couple weeks ago. And I mean, it's huge news. I'm going to get into the particulars. And Tyler, you help fill in the blanks because you actually have the press release in front of you. I just have what I remember from it. Starting with
The audience is looking at the payouts right now.
they're looking at the dollar bills, of which very significant. So it's going to be a 16-team bracket in Oklahoma, in Tulsa, at the BOK Center, I believe. And first place gets $200,000.
Boom.
Second and third, $150,000. Fourth place, $75,000, and on down. I think every team gets $20,000 just to participate. I mean, you want to talk about the team interest for this thing is going to be insane. It's going to be very competitive to get into this top 16. Going to be a thrilling event. This is going to be, I think, the best version we've ever had potentially of the national duels. There's been a lot of different iterations of it, right? Towards the end, it was just a one duel thing. And then you had the bracket years before that, but this is going to be the bracket, high incentive. Man, could not be more excited for this event. And the question is, how do you determine which 16 teams get in? It sounds like they're going to have those set by July. I think it says that in the release. Paycom putting up the money. This is I don't know if it says it's presented by or presented by Paycom. Of course, Chad Richardson, a huge benefactor to the sport of wrestling. Basically making this event happen, which is really, really exciting. Any initial thoughts, reactions from you guys? I have a ton.
It's going to be awesome. You said teams are going to be decided by July, but how will they be selected?
That is not. I think it is determined.
But it's just a selection.
Yeah, it's a selection, right? It's not going to be like, the top 16 at NCAAs. It's not going to be like that.
Yeah, I guess it says invitational, so that gives them discretion, but obviously they want the best teams.
Yeah, of course. So that'll be a process. I'm sure they're gonna lean on a lot of different people to make that determination, but it's going to be exciting because, as you can see, there's going to be a lot of teams that are going to want to get in. I think the buildup of, hey, what's the bracket? It comes out. What are the draws? And then who ultimately wins the big prize? A high incentive to get third, too, $150,000. That's a $75,000 duel.
Yeah, that's not like forfeit out. I mean, obviously, duels, you can't medically forfeit a whole team. I guess technically maybe. But, yeah, they'll be scrapping for all that money. I mean, what did it say? $1 million total purse?
Yeah.
This is not like, oh, we'll cover your expenses to travel there or whatever. This is like plug a serious hole in a budget.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a huge topic all year, and it's still a huge topic, but NIL, budgets, and the revenue sharing and everything, all the D1 programs that are having to deal with now. And okay, well, here's something. And it's not just, okay, well, the best team's going to come in there and win, and all the other teams won't have a chance. That's serious money for everybody.
Yeah.
Or top 8, but everybody gets covered. $20,000 is going to cover the travel there.
So this will be the second or third weekend of the season.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see how the teams competing kind of alter their schedules around this, thinking about those open tournaments in November, CKLV a couple weeks after that, and everything.
Yeah, if you look at, November, it's open tournament time. You'll have some softer duels sometimes. You'll schedule. Sometimes you have
Ohio State, Virginia Tech.
That's like one of the that's one of the rare examples of tough November duels. There's not a ton. I mean, there's more than that, but there's not a lot. So I think it is the perfect timing
Iowa State
for
too.
an event like this. That's like early December, late November. So this would be
It's November this year.
couple weeks after this if they're going for the second week. So I mean, it's definitely extremely significant. Very excited for this event. Excited to see who gets in, and yeah, I think this is what people have been asking for. This is what fans, they want to see, dual competition. They want to see, we see it too, right? When we cover dual meets, people get excited. They can get behind it. They understand it. It's not the complex. I love tournaments, but we're wrestling degenerates, right? Like the normal fan, like a dual meet is very palatable. It's 2 hours. It's 10 matches. It makes a lot of sense. And there's that. And what another advantage for dual meets is the variability, right? One match, one guy saving a bonus point, one wrestler pulling an upset can drastically shift a dual meet. If you do that in a tournament, it's just a drop in the bucket, right? But in a dual meet, it really matters. So, and I'm thrilled for it.
Yeah, if you have the upset of your life in the first round of the NCAAs, that's awesome. But the chances of then repeating that a whole bunch of times to really to get a top
Significant
8 or something,
points,
yeah. It's much harder to the point of it almost never happens. But if you do that at the right time at a dual meet, your whole team, everybody behind you, all the supporters, they're all going crazy, and you'll remember that forever.
Yeah, for sure. I still remember Johnny DeJulius not getting majored by Matt McDonough, and that was like a big deal. And I think that helped them like beat Iowa that year.
And now they're the same person.
And now they're the same person. That is a full circle experience there.
Yeah,
I have not seen that movie yet. We'll have to do a watch and a talk through.
I want to watch it too. David said it's probably not appropriate for my young children.
yeah. I mean,
Spay, I don't want your.
I think it's PG-13. I mean, there's adult situations with Anthony's family life, at least how it's portrayed in the movie. But it's mostly a wrestling movie.
Sweet.
It's fun. And a lot of training stuff, a lot of like college campus stuff. There's
Flow Wrestling's on there. Look at us.
yeah.
This is a great moment from the movie. Bray
Maybe
sent
the
this to
best.
us. A Flow Wrestling screenshot
A bit of an anachronism, but
in the movie.
What do you mean?
Anachronism?
well, it's supposed to take place in 2008, 2009, and Flow did not have that logo.
Yeah, it didn't look like that back then.
Okay, anachronism.
So that's that'll be on the IMDb like film flubs or like
A little Easter egg.
or an Easter egg.
Real ones know. All right, very cool stuff. There will be more to come on the national duels conversation, I think. Are the people in the chat talking about this at all, Tyler? Have you been feverishly pulling in?
Not
other
really.
things?
They're excited about it, but they're not talking about it too much. They're mostly talking about Spay's lack of Hawaiian shirts today.
Yeah, very muted today.
Well, it's cold, and
Cold doesn't have anything to do with colors.
well, this is the only bean I have.
Here's the
and I
thing
wanted-
about Spay.
He's beamed up.
He always lives the Hawaiian lifestyle, regardless of what he's wearing.
Yeah, I'm on vacation
is
in my
aloha.
mind everywhere I go.
True. Now, a conversation started before maybe we get into the duels, because Coach Cale Sanderson was asked about basically David's tweet, and the timing's ironic.
Not a coincidence.
Not a coincidence that David tweeted that, right? He obviously is aware this is going on
Onto something.
in the background. And, Cale is, basically like he's not, it's pretty clear that he's not interested in this version of the event, I suppose. And a lot of people take that as, well, this means I saw that they're scared, which is very obviously not the case. Yeah. They have a juggernaut of a team that would be favored in basically every version of wrestling events that you could create, including duels and especially duels. But also the idea, like, hey man, if you don't want to do this, you don't want to grow the sport, which I don't agree with that perspective at all. That's what this makes. And it does feel like, listen, if there was a mandated team title thing that everyone had to do, they would do it. For them, they don't see the upside or the benefit to their team. And it's a little, when people try to, like, I don't think shaming Kale or teams that don't want to be involved with this is like the method to getting their involvement. Like, shame is not it's not, one, I don't think it's operating in like good faith, but two, it's not helpful. And three, man, if you want to talk about, and I'm not just caping up for Kale and Penn State here, but you know, everyone always hides behind the grow the sport for their actual agenda, for the furthering of their own agenda, which has always annoyed me. And in this case, it's like, well, they don't want to do it. Okay, fine. But it's a little bit, when you shame them, like, you're kind of discounting all the incredible positives that their team does bring to the sport. Like, this is a very, very entertaining product that they put on the mat. You maybe want to see them more. I don't disagree with that, but I don't think, making, Kale a villain in any way it just doesn't make sense to me personally.
Yeah. It's interesting that college football just had its championship, and so my social media feed is filled with all this college football fandom stuff, and it's good every now and then. I kind of ignore college football and have for a while now, especially since coming to work here at Flow. But it's good every now and then to dip into those fan bases and kind of just like check things out and just see how crazy college fans are just in general. And I think you see a little bit of that in wrestling less. It makes me appreciate the wrestling community and fans a little bit better. But anytime something doesn't happen that they want, it becomes like a personal thing because their team is very personal to them. And the other teams are very, you have great, almost not hatred, but it gets personal. And so they want to assign a lot of things like, oh, if a team doesn't do this, they're cowards or they're running away or this. And it's like, no, it's just a difference of opinion, and you're projecting a little bit of how intense your feelings are for your teams and your sports onto other people. Where if you take a step back, it's like, no, it's just Coach Sanderson wants things to go one way, other people want to go the other way. Reasonable people disagree.
Yeah. You know how much fun it is to call a person a coward, though.
Well, that's a lot of college fandom is getting a lot of those emotions out in a more healthy way than if, I don't know, you directed them, to your family or something. I don't know.
Not going to do this? Well, you're a chicken.
Yeah. And yeah, it gets a lot, it gets rather fierce in the college fandom. But I'm pumped for this, and I totally understand if coaches don't want to participate or they think things would be better a different way. That's fine.
And like opinions change. I mean, Kale, you've seen an evolution of his schedule since getting to Penn State, and even back when he was at Iowa State, you saw their schedule. They were in national duels then. I'm not sure if when he was in head coach, if at Iowa State, if they did the bracketed national duels. That's going back a little far for me to recall exactly their schedule that year. But they've had the super intense scuffle and some they were in national duels and then they weren't. So just because if they're not in, doesn't mean they won't be out forever. Minds can change. Their
evolve.
Can change. Yeah,
might can change before July, maybe.
It could. It absolutely could. I think they're going to be invited. I would invite them.
That's the smart move.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, this is going to be really exciting. I love everything about it. It's going to be really fun.
It's going to be awesome.
All in one weekend or one day or what's the?
I think it's over 2 days.
2 days.
15th and 16th. I think.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Nice.
The press release said.
Oh,
he's already.
15 and 16.
15th and 16th.
Yep. So that means 2 duels per day, right? In a 16-person.
Well, and if you announce it in July or have, most of it or as much as you can, and then, the season starts and everybody gets like one, competition before that. So you get to see some lineup. I mean, the hype that's a great way to build a hype for a November event of that magnitude.
Yeah. And hopefully they like wait to announce the bracket till like a week before or something. Like let the teams shift around and do like a full, you know.
Oh yeah, let us get those whiteboard wars going.
Oh yeah.
One of my favorite towns of Tulsa as well.
Tulsa's a good
Big
town.
Tulsa, baby.
Tulsa is fun.
Yeah.
Underrated.
Bach Center.
Green country. Bach,
I always call it BOK.
I like calling it Bach.
because you like doing a chicken
Is
impression.
that okay?
Bok.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Okay. Is that a chirp? I don't know what.
Did you say?
Call me chicken?
Say the way you say the BOK.
Call me a drive turkey.
but multiple
one more
times in
time.
a row. Well, all right.
All right.
Moving on.
Let's go to.
That's going to be awesome. This weekend's going to be awesome because there's a bunch of good duels. Let's start with UNI, Oklahoma State. Friday night.
This is an unbelievable dual meet, and I think it was Lee Cothran tweeted that this is actually Oklahoma State's toughest duel, tougher than Iowa, and I initially scoffed. And you know, if you look at the matchups, UNI matches up actually really, really well. Now, is this a tougher matchup than Iowa? I don't think I'm going that far, but it's a tough matchup. It's not it's far from a sure thing, honestly. And as you look at, I think dual meet conversations and breakdowns, you start with the sure things, right? Like, what is a certainty? Okay. It feels like Parker Keckeisen for UNI is a certainty for them.
Yeah, not according to Lee and Destiny Defined podcast. Shout out, great
Dynasty.
guy, but
Dynasty.
Cowboys everywhere.
Dynasty. That's right. But yeah, I think the track record speaks for itself.
It speaks for itself. I would say for Oklahoma State, Wyatt Hendrickson and Dean Hamady are certainties. And I feel like everything else really falls within the margins of very close to slight leans. Are there any other strong leans that you see in this before we get into kind of the weight by weight? Because I think it's really tight.
Did you say Downey?
I didn't. Just I think that's a slight lean.
I feel pretty strongly about Downey.
He's been really good this year.
Fish is really dangerous, and I love watching him compete, and he throws all sorts of fun moves out on the mat. But Downey this year has been, I think he only has one loss, and it's to somebody really good.
Antrell.
Yeah. Oh, right. He's 1-1 against Antros, so he avenged the only loss. And Caleb Fish has taken, I don't know, 4 or 5 losses to guys that are not at the Antrell, Taylor, Ryder, Downey level.
That's definitely not a sure thing match, though.
Yeah.
I would no.
That's my thing. It's not sure. You do not have the confidence in that you do Dean over Sima, Parker over Ply, or Hendrickson over.
That's fair. Right. That would be the 4th one, though, on my confidence.
It would be. I think that's fair. Okay, so let's start at 25. Trevor Anderson. So you got number 20 versus number 4. You think, okay, Spratley should be a stronger lean. And I if you feel that way, I don't think you're crazy. But this match was 3-2 last time. It was last year. Trevor Anderson's been wrestling really well. Spratley on a bit of a slide, right? He just got pinned by Strickenberger. The week before that, he lost to Robinson. Anderson's been wrestling really tough, and it was a 1-point match. Anderson rode him out the entire third period. He's still tough on top. So I would not – this is not just a slam dunk for Spratley, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think most people would pick Spratley, but it's like a low confidence pick because, it's 125. Anything happens at this weight, and especially with these two guys, for the reasons you just said. Anderson, really tough. It's like a any given Sunday type deal. And yeah, Spratley has slipped up, even though he's normally pretty tough.
Bounce back for Spratley, in my opinion, though.
Seems like it, but you maybe would have thought that against Jet. Against Vince, he loses to Vince Robinson.
I don't think Robinson, he wrestled terribly against Robinson, though. I think Robinson's just really good.
He's just that guy.
I think so.
Yeah. So it could be a bounce back. And then 33, this is close, and I'm curious who Oklahoma State sends out at 33. Will it be Reese? Will it be Cale Hughes against Julian Farber? Another really tough, scrappy guy with some nice wins in his career. I think it is a slight lean probably for Oklahoma State. But, man, Hughes was really pushed by Maddox of West Virginia. And Maddox is tough, but he's not I don't think he's someone that would probably knock off a Julian Farber type of guy. And that was a really close match. So I don't know who Oklahoma State's going to throw out there. But either way, I think it's very much in the margins for both teams.
Yeah, have we seen Whitcraft in 2025 yet? I don't think he's I don't
think so.
think he's been in any of the duels.
Tyler can confirm that.
Put the wrong name then.
Well, no,
Well, no, I don't know that you did.
Oh, okay.
We don't know who's going.
Oh, in 2025, you confused me. The year thing confused me.
yeah, you're still right in 2024 and all your checks.
He wrestled for him at CKLV, and I remember he was a little dinged up. So
He wrestled after that as well. Because he wrestled against Virginia Tech, and then he'd been out. He'd been dealing with a knee thing, and then they forfeited against Air Force.
right.
His last time he wrestled was December 19th.
Who was that against?
Dylan Campbell of Virginia Tech.
Okay, yeah, I was there.
So
So it's been a month, over a month. So it might be Kale, and at which point, I think it's more winnable for Farber against Hughes.
I don't know.
Although Reese is
Even.
kind of crazy.
Yeah, this one could be advantage being in McLeod.
Yep.
And I think
True.
I'm still gonna lean Cowboys. I think with this one, might be the toss up of
They need. I feel like you and I may need one of these.
Yeah, I think, and then Farber had, I think he had like at national duels, he had like a couple big wins, but then he dropped one to somebody, if I remember correctly. But I think at home, even though the national duels or the NWCA duels in the fall, we're also in the Unidome. I would lean Farber, but it's a slight one, low confidence.
Tyler, you should pull up, just for our own reference, the WrestleStat duel comparison thing, just because you can get some quick common opponent things to look at. Now, 41, Happel versus Jameson. You think this is a toss-up, but I believe Cale Happel is 3-0
He is.
against Tegan. Now, they haven't wrestled this year. Tegan is better this year than he was last year, but Happel's still that guy. He's still really tough. What separates is Tegan beat Hardy, and I think Hardy beat Cale, I think.
Cale lost to Julian Tagg. I just looked that up.
Oh, okay. No, but he beat Hardy.
No. Cale lost to Julian Tagg and then medically forfeited out of CKLV. Tegan beat Brock Hardy and far outplaced
Yes.
Cale. But otherwise, you're correct. Happel is 3-0 against Jameson.
So you and I's got to get this one.
Yeah.
They've been winning this match. They're going to need this one. So I think Happel probably wins this one. But it's an opportunity for Oklahoma State. This is one where you can't shut the door on you and I here. But if you take these first three, man, that's a really long road back for you and I. So that first three is going to have a huge impact because I think it gets a little more certain as you work your way up. Because 49 is one where you look at it, it's like, 13 versus 12. Carter Young versus Colin Robuto. But if you watch this match, it was ugly. Carter picked him apart. It was 4 takedowns to none. And this is a great example. Like Colin Robuto, renowned for his scrambling, right? He is a good scrambler. But this is the prime example of the finishing is outpacing the scrambling. Because these guys are clearly an even level type of guy. Carter Young's thing is leg attacks. Robuto's a good scrambler. Not that he doesn't shoot, but he didn't in this match. And it was a major decision for Carter Young here. So now, backside CKLV, maybe you convince yourself you wrestled a terrible match and things are better. But you got to keep this guy off your legs. And Carter Young did not have any issue getting to them in this match. And I think that problem is still going to persist in this match.
I'm leaning Carter, but I don't think it's bonus points like it was in Vegas.
Yeah, it was narrowly bonus points in that one. Dual meets is just things tighten, right? Colin, everyone understands the assignment. If you can win the match, win it. If you're not going to win it, every point you save matters.
Right.
Both of these guys have had some variability in their season. So to me, it's going to be which one of these guys shows up, what version of themselves. Young had a couple of losses, lost to Willichell and somebody else that's ranked behind both of them earlier this year. So it was like, is Young going to be back on track or whatever? And then at CKLV, he does that to Real Budo. But then Real Budo's had, that was the worst loss of Real Budo's season so far was to Carter Young. If we get, at home, good shape, peak Real Budo, no injury issues, and I'd probably think about at least making it a toss-up. I don't know what the pick would be. For the sake of the duel, I hope it's a Real Budo win to make it more interesting. But
Well, I would say this. Here's the other path for Real Budo is they wrestled Cutter Sheets last week at 149. And if it's not Carter Young, Libudo is going to win this match, I think, almost certainly. So they need Oklahoma. I say need, but it's going to hurt if Carter's out for this match. Now, do they sit him for West Virginia knowing they have this big test? You see that sometimes, but then sometimes there's injuries that keep you out a month or more. So we don't know what that is in this case, but something to monitor, and we'll see when probables come out who Oklahoma State lists, because that's going to be, this is a big one. I mean, every match matters in these dual meets. And this is where duels are really fun because availability and depth matter as well. It's not just your 10. It's like, who's the guy behind your starter that you can plug in? Who, like a Reese Whitcraft is a great example of something like that. Miguel Estrada for Iowa, that you have a guy that can come in and beat a ranked wrestler that's your backup or redshirt, whatever you want to call him. That stuff all matters.
The best ability is availability.
That's some good football guy.
The best city? Intensity.
That's right.
Okay, good one.
Guy loves words.
Yeah. Okay. 57. I think Ryder is a substantial, maybe not significant favorite, but I think he matches up well against the Caleb's upper body stuff. I think he's be able to handle that and wrestle well. And when it gets into positions, I think it favors Ryder.
I think so too. Matt could become a factor too. Downey's really tough on top.
Really tough.
So I go Downey, but I initially thought about maybe even Major if he can get a turn. But you look at when he wrestles the best guys, he's not. He wins most of them, but he's not blowing their doors off.
Yeah.
Yet. So
how's it? Ryder Downey's a fun story. Like how coming out.
Not a big recruit.
Right. What were your expectations?
One-time state champ, I believe.
And he beat Avila, right? Who was going for his fourth. But it did not seem like he was the.
No.
Well, did he have like a not very national schedule, or did he
did
go?
not wrestle a national schedule, if I remember correctly.
Okay. So these guys, they hang out in Iowa and they don't go. You don't know what you got.
Yeah, pretty much. And
he's a gem for sure.
absolutely. And he was good. Obviously, won a 3A state title his senior year and a couple time placer before that, I believe. But especially right away, I did not expect this.
And he really was right away. He's good as a freshman for sure at Vegas. Like it was like, wow, this is a guy to contend with. Okay, so that's big, and UNI is going to need that one. 65. This is another one. It's just like 25. 65 and 25. It's like, okay, Cam Amin versus Jack Toms, and this is kind of very obviously Cam Amin. But it's a 4-1 sudden victory match at Vegas, and Cam Amin wrestles close matches. This is going to be an intense environment. Now, he knows how to win them, right? And I think he will win this one. But if Oklahoma State is playing a 1-point win, a sudden victory game against UNI at UNI, one of those could bite them for sure. So while I will pick Cam to win this match until I see Jack beat him, you can't like put this in the heavy Oklahoma State column until Cam starts showing some separation here.
Yeah, it'd be interesting if at this point in the duel, if UNI does get a majority of the weights before here, if they got to rely on Cam and then Cam makes all the Cowboy fans sweat, but then just like gets the first takedown in sudden victory or whatever real easily. I'm a little more confident that Cam is going to win by more just because of the track records they both have, and Cam is just more consistent and has beaten guys at a higher level than Thompson on a more consistent basis. But it could be one of those that has Cowboy fans a little nervous for the match.
Absolutely.
I think Cam takes care of business.
TCOB. Okay, 174, Hamady Sima. This is another one we said is a heavy lean for Oklahoma State. Question is this a bonus point match? WrestleStat has it as a decision for Dean Hamady.
There's a bonus points.
I don't know. I could see it. I think Sima's really tough. I'm taking this thing out of my ear. Sima is really tough. I think he can slow. He's going to be competent in scrambles and position. Don't shoot on him. You should not shoot on Dean Hamady. In my opinion, I don't think that's wise. I think you got to wrestle a hard positional match and hope you can win a scramble and make him come to you. Now that doesn't work often for most people, and this is the kind of match where you always talk about with Dean. It's like if he's better than you, he destroys you generally, right? And with 3-point takedown stuff, it's still probably Dean, and on the bonus side for sure. But You know, I think Sima can slow it down.
The 3-point takedown, you said it, is huge for Hamity. No one's had a bigger glow up this year than Hamity at Oklahoma State. It looks like a new man than the year before. I do want to point out though that you have one of the great name duos on the UNI lineup with Sima and Downey, just like the old SNL bits. Sima down now. Sima down now. They're not next to each other. You got to have Thompson in between there. But otherwise,
this is why duels are the future, people. Just little things like that.
that's right.
You can get Minto and Pinto back to back.
Another fave of mine. But yeah, I think the most likely outcome is probably a Hamity by bonus. But I also think there's out of all the outcomes, it might not be a majority that it's a major. But
so I think the Hamity glow up is a little overstated and overused. He had a bad NCAAs. He was like maybe going to be the 1 seed.
Remember
at
what
the
he did
NCAA
to
tournament.
Mitchell?
If he wins that match against Mitchell, I think he's like the 1 at NCAAs, or he's in contention for the top seed. So he had a bad NCAAs. He was cutting too much weight, but he was kind of smashing people all year.
Mm-hmm.
He was smashing Mitchell, fell off a cliff, or Mitchell just happened to him more than anything. But I think that's
Sima has not been bonused all year. Just the
best guy he's wrestled. I wonder who that is.
Jared Thompson beat him 8-1.
Okay. Yeah.
That's 1
But
point
that's
away.
Vegas. That's Vegas, baby. First of all, it doesn't count because it happened in Vegas. 2,
Oh, it stayed there.
it stayed there. 2, duels tightening.
Last year,
Not with Hamity.
last year he was majored by MJ Gaitan and also Benny Baker of Cornell.
Sima is kind of a different. That's a guy that's kind of different. He was like the most controversial NCAA qualifier last year. And then he got in, and he probably should have beaten Shane Griffith, but didn't.
An 8-7 match.
Yeah, it was kind of a never mind. He lost that match, but he made the round of 12. He had a really good showing.
You
He had
watch
some
your
nice
mouth
wins.
talking about Michigan man Shane Griffith.
It would. It's not nothing against Shane. Good job, Shane. Shane's a freaking gamer. Hard guy to beat.
Remember, Bubba Wilson wanted to fight him.
Who?
Sima, because that's who got in.
He wanted to fight him?
Well, yeah, because Bubba.
Well, I know,
beat
but
him
this
This is
head-to-head.
kind of a funny story, yeah. Do you want to talk about it? Like,
Yeah.
Sima, they posted like an interview with Sima saying like a lot of people talking trash about saying I shouldn't be here, and Bubba Wilson was in the comments like, yeah, it was me. Like, and basically it was like,
I
I'll
mean,
meet
say
you in
I
the
wanted
parking
to
lot.
fight you. Oh, he said parking lot?
I think so. I
Yeah.
think he commented something like, meet me in the parking lot.
Metaphorically.
In the
Maybe.
metaphorical parking lot?
Yeah.
Okay. Perhaps that's true. Okay, so Sima, well, maybe,
Then he was like, Sima down now.
it's like Sima down now.
JD, who do you think's winning?
Hamity by bonus.
Okay.
All right.
Maybe even more than a major.
Maybe even more,
if
maybe
he gets
even more than bonus.
Wow.
More than bonus.
I didn't say more than bonus. I said more than a major.
I'm just kidding.
2 other options.
Maybe more than
besides that.
bonus though.
But I'll say I'll be conservative, say major.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, nothing wrong with that. Tech's very possible here. Keckheisen, Plot. I just, these two are ranked close together, and Dustin Plot is so excellent. But, and they did have kind of, I forget which match it was last year. I think it was the duel, where Plot was like kind of close late, and then Parker got like a takedown or two and made it look a little less close. I think it was that January 26th dual meet 12-6. Because I think this was one that it had like a closer line, and Plot was going to cover it, and then Parker's like
Backdoor cover.
almost like he knew the line because he didn't get bonus. But yeah, this is a decision for Parker. Bonus is obviously an option here. He's majored him twice, and I think Oklahoma State has an advantage in the bonus point category on paper, right?
74 heavyweight.
74 and heavyweight. Those really stand out. Now you get these random pins sometimes that change everything, but on paper, the bonus advantage is with Oklahoma State. So this is one where Parker's, maybe gonna be thinking that way, but you probably don't. It's just you need to beat Dustin Plot. That's his job. So I have it as a decision for Keckheisen here.
I feel the same way. I do think bonus on the table, especially duel. You think Parker's up by 5 late, something like that. He'll push for it.
Now 97. Serber versus Volker. This is one I think UNI needs it. They've won it before. They're going to need to win it again. Volker beat Serber at Big 12s. neutral danger zone takedown. It was a very, it was a Luke Serber type of match where he's threatening from, the scrambles and the counters. Volker, I feel like, has been really good this year. I don't know if we can scroll down to the 97 match, but WrestleStat has Volker the winner here, 7-6. It was a pin, a little misleading pin. I mean, not really. If you pin the guy, it's a pin, but counter scramble and held him on his back, and he got the fall there. So this is a big match for seeding, for Big 12s, and for this dual meet. And Volker's had a good year, and Serber has as well. I mean, he's only has one loss on the year, right? And that's to Andy Smith, a loss he avenged later. He's beaten Trey Munoz. He's beaten Novak from Wyoming, who's very tough. Bush really pushed him in that duel against West Virginia. He was able to get to the leg, straightened it, got a good finish on him. So it gives me a little, I'm 50-50 on this one, probably leaning Volker just because home, and he's beaten him before. But it's definitely a close one. But I think it's probably another must win for you and I.
I don't think they get it. Serber's wrestling
Really?
so good. I know.
Kind of a new man Serber this year.
I want to ride with the West Delaware men, the Hawk, but I think Serber gets it done.
West Delaware.
That's where Volker's. Yeah, that's the Volker's high school.
Imagine telling someone you're from West Delaware. And they're like, oh, really?
Yeah, my neck of the woods.
You have kind of like
Maryland.
a Midwestern accent. Well, it's West Delaware, Iowa. It's kind of like Bubba Wilson, Manhattan, Kansas.
I met a kid.
Little Apple.
When
The
I went
Little
to-
Apple, yeah.
At Michigan, I met a kid who was like, "Yeah, I'm from Beverly Hills, Michigan." I don't know if you knew
really?
that exists.
Oh, that Beverly Hills.
That's where I want to be.
Weezer reference. So yeah, I'm going with Volker in this one. Serber is wrestling really well, but he's not impervious.
Spay?
Maybe it is. Maybe I'm looking too much into the 14-1, and maybe it's more.
Watch the match.
Serber's due.
Well, yeah. What? Yes.
Like,
Serber did beat him when Volker was redshirting. It's true freshman year.
so you say 14-1 and wow, but I don't want to say regression back to the mean, but like sometimes it just means you're
a lot
due
of
for one
tight
of those.
ones.
Yeah, you're due for one of those losses.
I'm going to lean
Instead of you're going to start winning all of these matches.
Sure.
lean Volker, but I think this is closer to a toss-up than it is anything.
Yeah, I agree with that. I completely agree with that.
Not calling it a pin, not back-to-back pins.
No. Here's another toss-up. Just kidding. Okay, so the conversation around heavyweight, Hendrickson versus Runyon. Runyon's been awesome this year for you and I, but then there's just a different level here with Wyatt, and he is pinning a lot of people, and it feels like Runyon would be a good candidate for that, but he's smaller, but definitely a really good athlete. This is a guy who started his career at 165. Now he's a big...
Yeah.
Now he's up at heavyweight. Is there an opportunity here? They've a little bit of hope from the WrestleStat crew. They think this is a decision for Hendrickson.
Come on, son.
I have a hard time seeing anything but 6 for Hendrickson, just the way he has been going after pins, the way he's looked this year. Another guy that's seen a level jump.
I just don't know what is the strategy. If you're not a Greg, if you're not a Gable, what is the plan for Wyatt? Because you don't want to shoot on him. He'll roll you through. He'll down block, score. He'll sprawl and score.
I think you keep a box cutter in your sock.
There you go.
Pull it out.
That's some Southern California scumbag right there. Not surprising from you. No, those are the thoughts that maybe run through your mind. But
I think you can do it without stabbing him. But maybe a blunt instrument, a club or something.
I keep a razor blade in my sock when I wrestle, but it's to cut myself.
oh yeah,
Oh, you can do one of
WWE
those.
style.
To get blood time.
Right.
Yeah.
When I
And they
need a
pull out a
breather.
stapler and just start going to town.
that's that Iowa stuff there.
That's right. That's right. You gotta figure out a way to slow Hendrickson down, and then just make it a boring heavyweight match, as boring as possible. And Hendrickson
He's allergic to those.
doesn't do the
He
boring.
starts sneezing.
Yeah. So I don't know. I wouldn't be able to offer one iota of advice.
So 4, 5, or 6. What do you think?
5 or 6.
5 or 6.
Pick one.
I think
Both.
6.
fans.
He gets him. Okay, if you think it's 5, that means you think he gets him on his back. Well, generally, he is so good at when he gets you on your back.
Yeah.
He's just like,
Sticking you.
hold still. All
what
right, let me move
constrictor?
this here, squeeze here, and then you're pinned. So, dang, it might be 6. This is where it's like makes it so hard. The you and I really has to thread the needle here because of basically Wyatt scoring double what a Trevor Anderson win would be. Right?
And I hate picking a pin too, because it's like I love Lance. I love what he's doing. It's an awesome story to bulk all the way up and then be a competitive heavyweight. But
Why it be pinning?
Tyler, will you click just Lance Runyon's WrestleStat just to look at it real quick? See
it's an adventure.
How do I do that?
just see his name.
Oh,
You
there we
click
go.
his name.
There we go. So his losses, he got majored by Schultz. He got teched by Trumbull. This is not good vibes for bonus preservation. So yeah, I'm going 6. I'm sorry to say.
Scroll up to look at
Panther Train.
go back, just scroll up to see the it's year by year down there.
Yeah, 165, 174.
Round of 16 at 174. He was like a serious. It was a 174 contender as a freshman. Well, third year freshman. And then it was like, let me take this. I'm not, I need a medical red shirt last season, and then I'm going to return new man heavyweight, just a contender up 3 weight classes.
Hit him with the dirty bulk.
What a
Love it.
beast.
All right, I think I had Oklahoma State winning.
So I missed
handle it,
your guys' 141 picks. Can you?
I have Happel 3.
I'm on Happel.
Okay.
I'm also
Lisbon.
a Happelman.
So that makes it a little closer, but I'll pull in your guys' results right here. So Spay has Spay actually has you and I winning 18 to 16.
I do. Oh,
But
because
you didn't give solid answers on some, and when you didn't do that, I just gave it to you and I.
Downey, Real Buto, Happel, Farber. Yeah.
I'll take Farber. Actually, I don't think I ever said I got Reese or Kale.
Okay. That's a swing.
Well, even with 6 for Hendrickson, so they're only winning 4, 2 bonus, but 6 threes are enough.
Yeah.
It's definitely a path for you and I.
There's a path. They need to get the upsets, bonus preservation.
That's some Panther Train goggles though. A little bit. I think I was pushing for an exciting match in my mind. Mm-hmm. I think it's gonna be tough to win 4 of those first 5, but if they do, game on.
Yeah, 4 of the first 5.
Can you imagine the scenario where it comes down to heavyweight and you and I is leading by 4 or 5?
Oh my gosh.
That's 100% a very real possibility.
That will be high
School,
drama.
that's some high school stuff.
Yeah, and it's like, all right, take a stall, take another stall, whatever. Like, just give up the points. It's not the bid.
You can't get sold out.
Yeah, you
Can't do
get
that
sold
either.
out. That's a needle thread right there.
He has to preserve those stalls as if they're like precious gold.
Tyler, were you ever in a position in a dual meet where it's like, we need you to not give up a big number here?
No, I was always the one that needed to get the big number.
Okay.
Yeah. Come on, don't do me like that.
I'm just asking. You wrestled in the Big Ten.
Did you're talking about in? I was thinking high school because you guys were talking about high school. Yeah, probably in college. Yeah. What was I gonna say? I don't remember.
Cool.
Go ahead.
All right.
That was one of my shining moments in high school. Was I didn't get
Not getting
majored, and
majored.
we won by 1 team point.
Oh, I was gonna think of.
They carry you out on their shoulders.
Yes, Loudon Swain style. Right in the middle of the match, it was like halfway through, and they're like, let's go, shoulders, Rudy style.
I remember there was like a point of contention between 2 of my coaches once in high school because it was like a really tight duel, and we had one kid who was way worse than our opponent's team's kid, and we were really worried that he was going to get pinned. So one of the coaches was like, he was losing by like 13 or something. He was like, give up a takedown. He was like, go. He basically coached him to like get on his hands and knees and like give up a takedown so he would get teched because they were worried the other guy was going to try to go feet to back on him or something. And it was a point of contention between 2 of my coaches because one was like, you don't do that. And the other one was like,
Hey,
well,
strategy,
help us. Yeah.
play to win the game.
Yeah. And I think it did end up helping us.
I was all for dual strategy. I love it. I don't know if I could do that one. Like you kind of get what we get here.
Does it mean because you want to be like, there's always a chance you catch him in something?
Yeah.
You could never give up voluntarily.
Now, if we're down 14 and we have choice, do we maybe pick top? These are things I think about.
That way, hey, you could cradle him up as he goes for the stand.
All right, hey, got to pin him now. Crap, he got away.
Just cross face him and stack him. Yeah.
Yeah, then he gets Peterson to his back and pinned Palacio style. All right, this duel's going to be fire.
Friday night, live on Flow. Mm-hmm. So make sure you watch.
We're going to have people. Sweet Prince is going there, I think.
I don't know. Don't look at me. I haven't talked to Sweet Prince in a couple days.
I don't know either.
Hey?
I'm sure Andy and Kyle will be there.
Yes.
It is live on Flow.
He's got a new washing machine. That's something I could do.
Okay.
That's fantastic.
Spay is the Sweet Prince's landlord.
Yeah.
Slumlord.
His roommates. No.
No,
right.
Spay owns very nice properties.
That's right.
I covet them. I haven't even been invited to your new one, which is kind of a snub.
There's no furniture. After
Yeah, it's the ideal male.
Your
apartment.
mom came specifically so you would have furniture. How did this
it's
happen?
getting delivered Wednesday.
Oh, really?
Tomorrow. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Come by this weekend. Oh, you won't be around.
I won't be around.
That's why we're doing FRL today.
That's right.
All right. Saturday, we got another big one. That's the big one for tonight. Saturday, just as big, Iowa versus Ohio State.
Love the spacing. This is fantastic. Is it a Saturday evening?
Afternoon. 1 to 3 Central, I believe.
Okay, cool. Okay, so Ohio State versus Iowa. I think I was like on a walk and just running through this in my head yesterday. I think it could come down to something like, does Ja'Cory Teamer wrestle this? Now, again, Iowa's the favorite here, but why don't we go through this? I like how we do that. The sure things, and then kind of work our way back and then do a match by match. What are the sure things for Ohio State in your mind?
So obviously I start at 125. Is Macron a sure thing?
Yes. I mean, he is in the wrestling sense, in a,
Obviously anything can happen. He is a substantial favorite.
I think so.
He is wrestling really well this year.
And what does Joey Cruz not want any part of?
That's
The
awesome.
mat.
Yeah.
The mat. He's so California, Tyler. He's good on his feet. He could take him down. But I feel like the mat is just going to be too much of a factor here. And Macron is just wrestling really well.
His past 2 matches, he's gotten complete third period rideouts.
Yes.
Now, one he did lose, but that was actually electric because it prevented the major against Dean Peterson.
Yeah, now the
He
fact
got
that
riding time and only lost by 7.
it's a little concerning he got almost majored by Dean Peterson, though. I'm going decision here. I don't think this is bonus.
I don't think so either.
Okay, other short things before we get into this. Jesse Mendez is sure. I think Parco. I'm going to stop saying short things because that kind of sounds insane. Strong favorites. Mendez, strong favorite. Parco, strong favorite. Caliendo, strong favorite.
Arnold.
I think so.
Yeah.
Buchanan, strong favorite. You know, the longtime fans know Ryder Gotsky's pinned Gabe Arnold. I think he's hit him with that chin thing on multiple occasions. It's in freestyle, but he's like pinned him and like beaten him before. So there's some
Upset watch.
Yeah, I was just gonna say Rogotsky rules. Like watching him, he's a wild man, and he
is crazy.
wild stuff.
Here's a question for you. Is Nick Feldman a substantial
I didn't
favorite?
get to say Stephen Buchanan, big favorite at 97. Feldman, he's in that. I'm not going big favorite, but he will be my pick. Spoiler alert there. So all right, let's go back to it.
I agree. Not substantial favorite.
Yeah, for sure. Let's go. So 25. Is anyone picking Cruz here?
No.
Cruise control.
Yeah, there seems like a lot of like I don't want to slam the door shut on these guys, but I can't not pick the highest likelihood, which is a win by Macron.
33, I think, is a wild one.
Every Nick Buzakis match. is a wild one.
Does Nick need a big move to beat him, or can he can he get 2 takedowns?
I think he needs a big move, or maybe like a takedown and a reversal.
Yeah.
Even then, Drake might
Don't
be able to
ride
get
him.
2 takedowns.
He reverses everyone.
I know.
You're gonna get a reversal.
You're silly if you ride him. Just kick him.
You know his favorite movie? Reversal.
Reversal.
Wow, there you go.
I like the way Buzakis is not afraid to try stuff on the mat. Sometimes it's to his detriment, but if he can mix things up, and Ayala might want to keep things more basic, more baseline and neutral. But if they can start doing some interesting things, might work in Buzakis' favor.
Drake is the pick here. But Buzakis is the type of guy, like, you don't want to wrestle first round at NCAAs or second. You don't want to see him at NCAAs because
No.
he can upset just about anybody.
Yeah.
Drake's my pick. Decision.
It's interesting. Drake was very reserved against Bird. If he's like that against Buzakis, I don't think that's a good strategy. I think he needs to be in exchanges with Nick, firing leg attacks against him. If he's like gonna stand in front of Nick and just kind of like hope he stares back and just wait for one takedown, I don't think that's the Lucas Bird strategy is not going to work against Nick, in my opinion. I think you have to go after him.
Yeah. That's my message to all wrestlers. Don't do that strategy. I don't want to see that match. I want different matches.
No, for sure.
What do you think the differences between Nick this year and last year are? Because I remember you could go behind Nick. You could get him to take a bad shot and hit some go behinds on him last year.
He's still Nick. He still has moments you're like, what happened there? But I just think he's wrestling more mistake free, right? I think his leg attacks are just cleaned up a little bit more. He's shooting closer. He's not like airmailing a lot of attacks. He's good on the mat. I think it's just a natural progression. He was a freshman last year, right? Like freshmen do freshman things. I think he's leaning into his power, right? Like his strengths. Yeah, he's getting a lot better, slowly but surely. I mean, he is a wild card at this weight class. He is someone that he's not just someone that you don't want to see in round one. He is someone I could see wrestling in the semis, right? I think he's that kind of a talent. I think he's that kind of knockout power. And yeah, I mean, he's beatable too, right? He's lost to Romney. He's lost to other guys, but this guy messed up Tyler Knox this year. That's a guy that beat
Frost
and
Drake.
So I'm counting this dude out.
Nope. Drake's my pick, though.
Yeah. I don't know if I want to pick this one.
I think this is closer to a toss-up than anything, but it's one of those where, if I'm being honest, I think Drake is more likely to win, but, it'd be one of the least shocking results is if Buzakis.
Where is this match taking place?
That I don't know off the top of my head. I want to say Carver, but I don't know.
Yeah, that could be tougher. 41, I mean, Mendez, he should be going after 5 here, right? This should be a Tech. Tech should be his goal here. Obviously, pins are better, but, getting a Tech against Ryder or whoever they put out there.
Should either be, I would think it'd be Ryder again. He was back against Illinois, but if not him,
Wrestled
Chase Rhodes.
Piscino really tough.
It is in Iowa, by the way.
It's in Iowa. Ooh. All right, I got Drake. Although
Drake.
Knox beat him in Carver.
So did Oregon State last year.
Kaler. Maybe he's not that good in Carver, and he only took one shot against. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not certain on that one. I don't have this. I think you guys have a little stronger feeling on Drake than I do.
I just said I don't feel super strong about it. I just said, in my opinion, the most likely scenario
Yeah.
clearly is a Drake victory.
Yeah, I'm saying that's basically a toss-up, but I'm picking Drake.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Jesse 5 or 6 here should be the goal. Although watching block, like, can he slow things down? But he's just a different. The test from Danny Piscino to Jesse Mendez is very, very different, and it doesn't take as many takedowns for him to get to the promised land. So I got Jesse 5.
Yeah, if Mendez comes out there with the intention of bonus, and I think he will, it's tough to see him getting denied that.
Carver has I feel like Jesse's a guy that will perform well in this atmosphere, but Carver has a weight about it for opposition. That should be factored in.
I think Jesse just major.
Really?
Yeah. Big major.
Big
not
major.
nickel.
Big.
But like pushing for that last takedown
Yeah.
in the third. And
Yeah, you're
just
probably
wasn't
right.
get it.
You're probably right.
That's where I am too. But it's one of those where maybe Block does the Carver heroics and just keeps it to a regular decision, or maybe Jesse opens it up and finds a way to get stack some near falls up, and it's a Tech. Who knows?
So 149, Kyle Parko versus Dylan D'Amelio. They wrestled. It was a what? Scroll a little more for me, buddy. I'll keep going. So 11-1 for Parko. So, yeah, I think I'm going decision here for for Parco. But if he gets on top, it's a thing. But he didn't go after it against Illinois against Webster, and that surprised me. So I don't know.
And I view Webster and Demon kind of similar level. So I think Parco by decision.
Same here.
Yeah, was not totally enthused by Parco's last performance, and I like the weapons that D'Amelio brings to the mat. But it's like I said, one of those things where I can't. I'm gonna pick Parco.
Okay. Who did you pick for Mendez? Or how many points do you think Mendez is going to beat Ryder Block by?
Major.
All right.
How many points exactly? I don't know.
157. Do we see Ja'Cory Teamer?
Did y'all see a post? Can you pull in his
Tweet?
Instagram, or was it a tweet or Instagram?
The Hourglass?
I tried looking up his Instagram last show when you talked about it, and his most recent post from like 2 weeks ago. So
I look at Twitter.
okay.
I know he tweeted it. I put that in there.
Corey Bentrill.
Right. Link to it, and he says, "I just need a couple weeks, and then I got this."
Well, here's a new one.
Oh, a
where it's
newer
just
one.
The Hourglass and him just standing in front of the Hawk.
Oh yeah. Look at this.
We're gonna pull this in, so you'll see what I'm talking about.
Oh,
Now, does that mean time?
I meant he's like,
Generally.
I've been working out, and so my waist is small, but I got big upper body and lower.
Oh,
body.
he's talking about his figure.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Could be.
That coveted Hourglass figure.
Yeah, I don't know. The timing of this feels like you'll see me this
Really
week.
soon. I don't know about this week.
This would be one to come back for.
Yeah.
But also, Sasso. Is it Sasso? Is it? Yeah, it's gonna be Sasso.
Sasso.
It will be Sasso.
It'll be Sasso.
So this is one where, for Ohio State, you're like, why don't you heal up, Ja'Cory? Let's think about March. That's what really
Estrada, not a big one against Crazer, though.
he did. I don't think he could do that to Sammy, but he's tough. Now, is Estrada out of dates? Can you look up Miguel Estrada?
Mm-hmm.
Just click his little thing there. I go down. All right, so he did. Keep going. He did Luther and Grandview. Those count. Iowa, Princeton duel, that counts. Soldiers, Wisconsin and Illinois. So he's out of dates.
Did he compete unattached in any of these?
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
You can't compete unattached first semester
Okay.
as a true freshman. And
That assumes that Soldier Salute was unattached because he still got 5.
I think it was.
There you go.
So either way, he's out of dates. Therefore, who would it be? I don't know. So it won't be Estrada unless they're going to burn his shirt right now, which I don't think. Maybe they would. I don't know.
I think we see Ja'Cory.
You think we see Ja'Cory?
Big duel. He's rested up long enough.
Carver. What we did hear from Tom's, he said we love his progress, but that was it.
And I think
You guys got to make a prediction here.
I will.
Who's going to go out?
Corey by decision.
Here's why I do think it's Ja'Cory, because if it was, you would want Estrada for this one, not Illinois, if you were going to use his last date, right? So that to me says he's progressing really well, and we'll use Estrada here because we'll have Ja'Cory next. Otherwise, you throw just kind of anyone in there at 57 against Illinois, and then
Bump someone up or whatever.
and then you save Estrada for this one. So I'm going to say no inside info other than that tweet, which is not inside. Ja'Cory decision over Sasso.
Okay. Spay?
If not, Sasso decision.
Okay.
Yep, ditto.
All right. Boom.
65 Caliendo versus Patty. This could verge on major decision territory, I think. I mean, yes. Caliendo's
Caliendo, a
attacker.
dog.
He's a dog. Patty underneath can struggle. I think Caliendo really just brings it every match. He is such a consistent performer. I mean, you look at this guy's seasons. He was great at North Dakota State, but at Iowa, he has been really good. He has been really their most dependable guy for the last 2 seasons, in my opinion. And I think he comes out here, and it doesn't take a 3 takedown advantage is probably enough to get the major, and I think that's probably what he does. 3 takedowns for Caliendo.
I could definitely see that. Caliendo, very athletic, great gas tank. He's always pushing late in matches. But I'm going to say Patty, even though he's moving up. So maybe, I don't know, he's still getting used to 165, but I don't think he struggles too much. I think he was ready to go up. So give me regular decision Caliendo, though.
Caliendo by 8.
8 points.
It's your exact score or exact margin.
Exactly.
This is the 74 is the match of the duel for me. 33 is cool. But 74, Harchla versus Kennedy. I really like how Harchla's looked since he came back. Everything looks crisp. His attacks he's really fast. He looks really strong. And then Kennedy has been, and maybe he could be like an MVP for Iowa so far this year. I mean, he has been really good. I don't know who is the favorite in this one. This one has Kennedy as the favorite. I'm not sure. I think I lean Harchla in this one. I think he gets an early takedown. Maybe rides, maybe not. Probably not. But Kennedy late, this dude's a mother. Like him pulling on your head for 6-7 minutes, his hand fighting, his pressure. Harchla is going to need to get one early. I think that's my read on it.
I think he does. I think Harchla wins.
This is a crazy one.
Gets booed at the end. Kennedy can't get that last takedown.
Yeah, I want an alternate world where we get to see healthy Harchla for his whole college career because he had so much momentum coming out of high school, and he was like one of those not late bloomers, but kind of like Mitchell Messenbrink, where you didn't see it. He wasn't winning like Super 32 as a freshman or whatever, and then injuries just derailed him. He is looking good now. Kennedy and Carver is why I'm gonna lean Kennedy. Just he's a Hawkeye through and through, and loves to compete there. But I kind of want to lean Harchla, but I'm saying PK just for the Carver boost.
You guys
I really don't know. This is one where I have less certainty in this than any match we've talked about this weekend. I really am not sure how it goes.
I agree.
I feel like Kennedy is better than ever. Like this, he is having his best year. I mean, he looks awesome. I mean, he was a starter last year, and I feel like at no point were we like, this dude's gonna place, right? And now it really does feel that way. I don't know. And he doesn't look particularly big for the weight, but he seems stronger than everyone he wrestles. I mean, he bullied Bronigal. Bronigal's a big guy, bigger than him. I don't know. I have a hard time with this one.
I do too.
I would definitely label this a toss-up.
So, are you picking Kennedy?
Give me time. This is my process requires just additional time.
You need to center yourself.
Yeah, I'm not even grounded. I'm wearing shoes. This is no time to make a decision. 84. Y'all speak on it. I'm gonna try to find their exact standings here between Arnold and Rogotsky. I'm pretty sure it's 2-0 for a rider, but I'm gonna look it up because they haven't wrestled in college, to my knowledge.
I don't believe so. And I think Rogotsky got those, but Arnold has been much more consistent in college, and for that reason, I'm going Arnold by decision.
Okay.
Yeah, give me Garnold.
Arnold.
Rogotsky, so much fun. Like I said, he's appointment viewing, but I don't see anything happening that's not an Arnold victory. And he of all people can slow things down on feet, thumb blocking, defense, and he's so quick that as long as he's familiar with Rogotsky and his tricks, he's able to avoid them. If not, hey, there's always a possibility. I mean, Rogotsky's probably coming up with new stuff all the time, but
And I don't want to call them tricks, but they kind of are, like Rogotsky's lat
tricky
whip.
stuff. Not like, oh,
Tricky
that's
stuff.
not, you don't know how to wrestle regular. No, it's
Right.
It's cool that he's doing stuff that is keeping wrestlers on their toes.
But the more you wrestle somebody generally who uses those type of techniques, the less they are effective.
The Fargo match here. No, that's Tate Noctiborn. I think he might just be 2 freestyle matches for Ryder back in like 2021, and nothing has changed since that time. No, I mean I think one of the biggest evolutions for Gabe is maybe it's not a big evolution, but like he gets under his opponents
Pick you
and
up,
goes
put you
straight
down.
up in there. That's how you have to. That is exactly how you need to finish on Ryder. Right on top, will that be a thing? I don't know. I mean, Gabe's looks really good underneath. Been super impressed with him this year. I've got Gabe by decision, but don't be surprised if this is one where like it's like he's doing good, and then there's like a couple scary moments where like he's gonna get pinned, and then he gets out of it. Like no near fall, no real danger. But Ryder will have moments. I feel.
I agree.
Buchanan, I think majors probably. I mean, he's scored a lot of bonus points. I think he gets bonus against Shoemate or whoever. Shoemate didn't wrestle last week in the Purdue duel, but I think it'll be Buchanan big here.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if this is held to a regular decision, but
Well,
I don't think it's ever in the.
really.
In the,
I would be surprised if Shoemate cut this to a decision. Just how Buchanan's been wrestling.
I could see Buchanan attacking so much, and you get some stall calls in there.
Matt.
Yeah, and just momentum. He starts rolling downhill, and there's no stopping that.
That's the thing. There's no safety with Buchanan. There's not a position where it's like, all right, you can like kill 30 seconds here. It's all danger.
Yeah, if it was anything but a major or more, I would be surprised because I think Buchanan is top dude at 97.
True. Okay, and then heavyweight. I've got Feldman over Keeter. I don't think this is anything that approaches bonus. I think Matt not going to be a factor, which is probably good for both, right? They both can get ridden. I think they both get off the bottom, and I just don't see Keeter able to take him down.
seems like 1 or 2 takedowns to none to me, or maybe
Yeah.
2 to 1.
I'm sensing a 0-0 first period. Strong premonition
Ugh.
that we
Barf.
don't get any points. In
There better be
first
stall
game.
warnings then. There should be no scoreless first periods.
I don't see any stall warnings either.
Yeah, go on it.
I see the blankest of score sheets.
Pain. Pain. All right, what's that?
What do we have the team scores at?
So you guys all kind of well, you guys didn't also didn't pick Kennedy Harshla. 2 of you did.
I did.
What did you say?
Hartzla.
Oh, well, great. It evens it up a little bit.
I'll take him too.
Okay. Well, it's still pretty. You guys
one.
still all picked pretty dominant Iowa wins, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
This is what I was afraid of because it was like the most likely pick, the one that even if they're closer to toss-ups, there's still one with like a pretty clear advantage in my
Right,
opinion.
55-60% chance.
That you're not super confident on, but if you got to pick one,
Yeah.
So the path for Ohio State is as follows. It's Macron, Buzakis, Mendez, Ja'Cory recovery, Harchla, Feldman.
No, Ja'Cory not recovery. Or is
not-
in recovery.
Yeah, he's in recovery.
Got you.
And then
The A Ja'Cory recovery, meaning
yeah.
the rest of those no.
that's 6. Okay, that's 6 wins. Macron, Buzakis, Mendez, 57, Harchla, Feldman. Now, that's one way. If you take away like Buzakis, then you need to have the bonus advantage, which you're relying probably on Jesse Mendez, and you're preserving bonus at like 97 and 65. So I think for Ohio State to win this, the way I see it, bonus advantage is on Iowa's side, and so they're going to need to win 6 probably to do it. So that's my thought.
Mm-hmm.
It's not undoable. It's not. But it'll be hard, and it won't be. It's less likely to happen than Iowa winning.
You actually have Iowa winning 6 here, and if Ohio State flipped one of those, the score would be tied.
Yep. So it's very reasonable. One result. You catch a guy in a scramble, get a pin. These are the things that can.
yeah.
It'll change the winner.
Yeah, I don't want to look like a Buckeye hater here because there are many results there that I would not be shocked to see them flipped. But
Yeah.
that's just where I'm leaning on those guys.
You look like a Buckeye hater, dude.
You're the actual
Right
Buckeye
after,
hater.
right
You're
after
the
their
unabashed
national,
Buckeye
right after
hater.
their national
Yeah,
championship.
they've won enough. They got the big and
Yeah, you should have heard the hate from Tyler this morning.
the real champs are the one that win the
Well,
big
they
game.
lost the game.
The game. The game.
Again,
only one game.
They literally didn't try. They're like, we're already in the playoffs.
Let's
Why are we going to
save
try
ourselves.
against? Why are we going to try against these tryhards from Michigan who are acting like,
Yeah. Oh, this is the only game that matters, but we don't need the playoffs.
yeah, this is the only game that matters. Really, we're the national champions.
Well, they fought
Ouch.
on the field, so it mattered a
They
little
did.
bit.
A couple of them fought. It's a light skirmish.
They still should have fired Ryan Day.
Right after that match,
was
no
so
press
funny, like-
conference, just get out.
It's time for Ryan Day to go. That was the most hilarious take of all the takes.
That's what college football fans rule.
Yes.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about. Every time it seeps into my world now, it's like, what is going on? Why are you guys insane? But
But I don't have any beef with Ohio State wrestling. Nick Feldman came up to me the day after the game because we were at CKLV, or maybe like a few days later.
Yeah.
And he was like, "What'd you think watching that game?" I was like, "You don't want to know, Nick."
Oh man.
All right, we hit on the big duels
Sheesh.
Friday and Saturday. Elsewhere going on this weekend. Actually, before the weekend, tomorrow, Arizona State, Missouri wrestle
Okay.
on a Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Tune into that. Friday night, Nebraska and Michigan going down.
Okay. What's the big one? 9.
Lemley Hardy probably
Yeah.
at 41. They split last year.
I know.
They're fun
Lemley,
matches.
yeah, Lemley hasn't been quite the same guy, I feel like, and Hardy's wrestling pretty well.
Hardy looks good.
So, but we'll see.
Is that Michigan though, right?
Michigan by a million. No.
That duel was great last year. I think.
For
Nebraska-
maybe
yeah,
Nebraska fans.
Nebraska kind of thumbs.
And then Oklahoma and Iowa State are Friday night. Both Oklahoma schools are doing their Iowa trips.
Iowa.
Yeah.
They're just doing a little do-si-do Friday,
not-
Saturday,
They're
Sunday.
busing up together.
Yeah,
They should be carpooling.
Yeah.
save on emissions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Oklahoma wrestles UNI on Saturday. So the big Saturday duel. Sunday, then Oklahoma State wrestles Iowa State.
Oh, that's kind of fun
There's
too.
some good ones in that one. 25, Spratly Terrakina. 33, Frost, Whitcraft, or Hughes. 49, Panera Young.
I want to be Panera.
I want to be Panera Young.
I can't believe that match is happening.
Yeah, it's crazy.
We didn't think it was possible.
Dion
Bowl.
manifested it.
Theon did make this happen. Who wins that match? That is a good one.
Panera Young.
And then Fish versus Chittum. That's gonna be a disaster.
That I'm
Craziness.
circling that one.
That'll be yeah.
Chittum Fish.
Shit, I'm looking to bounce back. Panera had a crazy match at the where was I?
Oh, it's the Cyclone Open.
Cyclone
yeah,
Open.
Yeah, the Clone Open.
16.
Formerly the Last Chance Open.
He had a 16-13 sudden victory win, I think, something like that.
Yeah, and then it was Charlie Millard, right?
Mm-hmm.
In
He
the
beat-
finals.
No,
No, Millard
you're confused. That's
Yes.
57. Charlie Millard beat Cody Chittum.
Chittum.
We're
That's
talking.
what we're talking about.
We're talking about Panero.
I was talking about Panera.
Oh, Pan. All right, no, sorry, I was still talking about Chittum.
Lock-in Spay.
Oh, got him with the lock-in.
Got him with the Avery Lynch.
So that'll be a good one. And then Illinois Rutgers as well Saturday. 133 is probably the marquee matchup in that one. Bird Shaver.
Yeah, I'm excited for that one.
It was
Penn State
Alex
Rutgers
Peralta,
too.
by the way.
Yes. Sorry, I didn't mention that's Friday night.
So that's Shaver, Davis.
Davis, Peterson, Lilidol.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
Panera had a 1916 match with Alec Peralta.
1916.
That's crazy.
And unfortunately, there was no video feed of these matches, I don't believe. Or no match archives.
I haven't seen any, but I would like to see the scoreboard after that and just how exhausted it was, as Shane Sparks would say.
Nice.
There we go.
Probably sweating.
All right, that's your weekend preview. Tyler, you got us with some questions?
I got some questions. Salty Walk On said, boys, the college cheer and dance nationals were held this weekend.
Live on Flow.
Live on Flow. Basically, he just wants to know which events from other verticals create the biggest buzz. P.S. High Spay.
Hey, Salt.
I don't know. I mean,
Chili Bowl, baby.
racing's really big. Honestly, it's kind of fun here because, I mean, we cheer for our fellow vertical teammates,
Not me.
he
I pray on
doesn't.
their downfall.
Big hater. But everyone else, but I don't know. I know that
ADCC's huge.
ADCC is really big. UCA, UDA, I think is what that one's called. Chili Bowl. Racing's got a bunch of awesome events.
Yeah, it doesn't stop. Racing season is 360.
What else is cool? We have the Tour de France. We have like the Canadian race, which is actually a really big deal.
It is.
There's a lot of French there, so they're fired up for that. I don't even know if we still have that. This is not an
Yes,
ad for
we
that.
do.
We do. Okay.
Seton Hall Pirate was telling me that.
Seton Hall Pirate knows our
He
race
knows because
portfolio.
he's a cycling guy, and he said
He is?
He flies to Canada just so he can watch on Flow.
Wow.
Wait, did he really tell you he watches?
He joked
He's
that
in New York, so wouldn't be that far.
Oh, he's in Florida.
He's in Florida.
I don't know why.
He's from originally, I think maybe he's
Jersey.
From, yeah, the Northeast.
Seton Hall.
See, I wonder if he's listening.
Yeah.
A lot of Seton Hall
Maybe.
Pirate love.
Seton Hall is in New Jersey.
Shout out to the Pirate.
He is the man and provides us with a lot of information.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sometimes we have random like big baseball or basketball tournaments that'll have
Yes.
many
Preseason
high
stuff.
preseason D1 teams. We had that Hawaii tournament that one time.
We had State Farm. Caitlin Clark played on our on Flow a couple
that was
times
huge.
last year.
Yeah.
He's a basketball player.
The Globe Life Field. We're doing that
Baseball.
Ballpark
again.
thing.
Not bad at the ballpark, but baseball games at the ballpark. Novel
I think it's
idea.
called like State Farm or something.
Yeah.
Sorry if it's like Allstate. I don't know. Again, I really don't know.
Oh yeah, you want to apologize to big insurance companies?
Well,
Oh, we're going there.
oh wow. Okay.
A revolutionary behind the bar over
Got
here.
Luigi over here. Gracious. Sorry, dude.
Hockey is a big deal. It's like they have a ton of the minor leagues. So,
Yeah.
like
Oh,
the
yeah.
amount of hockey that you can watch, like all the rising stars. Like, so you're obviously not going to get the NHL or whatever, but if you're that into hockey, and there are a lot of hockey fans that are that into hockey,
Yeah.
it's like not everything but college, basically, before you get to the top level.
You know what's crazy? Circling back to insurance, Tyler and I know a girl who went to prom with Luigi.
Whoa.
That's true. I know a girl, and JD knows
See,
her
well,
from me.
very obviously. Look at
JD
him.
didn't lie.
I met her.
JD has met her.
Whoa.
So,
there you
degrees
go.
of separation.
I guess
That's right.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Now that you're both on watch lists.
Virginia is for FRL. Said you're on a road trip and stop at a gas station. You go in and get 3 items. What are you picking?
This is a great question.
It is a great question.
I have a question.
He asked it two shows in a row, so shout out to him.
Question for y'all before we get to this.
Okay.
Do you eat gas station hard-boiled eggs? Because your boy
I do.
eats them like candy.
I
Do I never have. I'm not a.
I would gladly.
I would not mock or ridicule, but it's just not something I would do.
I'll rip them occasionally.
If I'm going into the gas station, I'm gonna do some devious stuff in there. I'm gonna buy I get a payday
Oh, you go sweets.
of it. Well, I'm not done. Got to balance it out. I'm gonna get a vanilla Coke.
3 items.
That's also sweet. And then I'm probably gonna go.
Never seen you drink a pop.
It doesn't happen often.
Say pop.
Soda.
Oh, I don't like that at all.
I mean, I drink Coke. I drink soda super rarely, maybe probably less than 5 times a year. But if I'm doing this, I'm getting those 2 things and then salt and vinegar Lay's.
Okay.
Okay.
Salt and vinegar's go to chip.
Or I may just get a big, if I haven't used much of my per diem, I'll get a big bag of combos. Those are so expensive. They're like $9 at the gas station, but I'll get the big bag.
I don't even
Combos
know
are
what you're
good.
talking about. Big bag of combos?
Combos? You don't know what combos are?
No.
Like
What the
Stop playing.
the pizza flavored.
pretzel?
The little circle.
little pretzel nubs with cheese or peanut butter or some
They're
sort of
so
filling.
good.
How does he not know what a combo is? This was like the
know.
most common.
Yes,
You
those.
got to be lying. They're in every.
They didn't have
gas
these in
station.
California. They have lunch, cafeteria.
So
This is
I would
everywhere.
go in this scenario. I like the pretzel ones. I'll probably go either nacho cheese or pizzeria.
I have never seen these in my life.
That's astonishing. That literally
Snap
is
is
insane.
crazy.
I
They're
mean,
in every
I might
gas
walk them. I might walk by them in the
You
gas
absolutely
station.
have. I've definitely been in a gas station
All right,
with you.
we're
I'm
gonna-
saying I acknowledge that I've probably been adjacent to them, but
The fact that you said
I've never registered them with my eyes.
This is like top tier snack food in like elementary school.
I'm still with them. I mean,
I'm not going to go that far, but I will say, obviously, they're extremely
It's
popular.
up there. They're really good.
I don't know, fourth, fifth grade in the cafeteria. If you had combos, you were living good.
Yeah, you're so rich.
Ozak said Tyler not knowing what combos are is going in the dock.
That has to go on the dock. Fair. That's right.
I'm flabbergasted.
Who cares? What do
I
you know
don't
these
care.
things?
I don't care. I just don't know how you could avoid them.
I've never. There must be at the bottom of the shelf or something.
Is this a
Have
California
you ever
thing
heard of
where it's-
Lay's chips?
Yeah.
Of course.
Do you know what Doritos are?
Cheetos?
They're tremendously popular. Have you ever seen a combos commercial watching football?
They don't need commercials. We're the commercial.
Yeah, well, I'm saying you can't compare
Also,
it to Lay's or
probably have.
Doritos.
Do you know what bugles are?
Yeah, I know what bugles are.
Bugles are so much more
Yeah.
lower on the,
They're way
on the
more
food
obscure than
chain of the
combos.
That
snacks.
is not true. They
think
have
Bugles
they
are more
share
popular.
a name with a musical instrument. So
All right, yeah. How could I forget that?
Yeah.
The Boogie Woogie Boogie Boy?
Okay.
combos are
Those are
trash.
my 3.
Combos is a great pick. What I'm doing is I'm stopping at Buc-ee's. I'm getting $20 worth of freshly baked fudge. I'm gonna get
We have done that and munch on the. Remember when
brisket
was that Lincoln
sandwich?
that we did that?
Yes.
and
Munch on that fudge for
and
like
a
a week.
64 ounce cola. No, I'm not. It's a good question because what I'm doing is first I'm looking for yerba mate. You know me.
Yeah. Get the herb.
If they don't have any guayaki, then I go to probably a brisk iced tea. That's the beverage. And then for food, I'm going to look at maybe if they got anything on the rollers.
Yeah.
I'll pop a taquito in the bag, maybe do the buy 2, get 1 free deal. If they have that. If they don't have taquitos, then the Slim Jim,
Yeah.
but with the cheese combo. So you get the meat and cheese flavors. and then some other snack, maybe chips, maybe if they got bagel chips. And a lot of places don't have them, but something chippy.
I go Celsius to drink.
What's that?
Celsius, the energy drink.
Oh, Celsius. Yeah. That's
Not sure if you're familiar with its work.
I've sampled.
Then cashews. I'm a big
Okay.
cashew guy.
Good call with the nuts.
Love cashews.
Hard-boiled eggs, get some protein.
Oh.
And then for my sweets, either
This is four.
like a Reese's cup. But I did a drink. Doesn't count.
3 items.
Okay.
Three
Let 'em go.
scans.
Let 'em
Okay.
Trying to say a drink doesn't count?
yeah.
That is crazy.
Drinks don't count. Also, food.
Okay,
doesn't count.
well, you went 3 foods. Your mouth about to be dry as hell.
No, I said Coke, a vanilla Coke.
We did, but we alternated. Like if one's not available, then this is what I'm going for.
Yeah.
But it's literally 3 items. That's what makes it tough. You can't just be like, well, I'll just have everything.
What, 3 items? Easy. 4.
Exactly. Get your bread up.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, we're all.
You're sipping Cokes with the brokes. I'm
Yeah.
drinking Dr. Pepper with the big steppers.
Wow.
Oh,
This guy's a gas station rhymer.
Big old
that was better than anything Spade's done in the last 2 days.
It's true.
Hey. All right. I'll
All right, I like your items. Those are good. Go ahead.
Me? Oh man.
Or move to the next question. if
freshly
you got
squeezed
nothing.
papaya juice.
I'll get a coffee. I'll get some sour gummy worms,
Oh my gosh, trolley bright crawlers. Mm-hmm. Those are so good.
and maybe I wouldn't get both of these at the same time, but I'm just going my favorite things to get at a gas station. I'll toss in some strawberry Pop Tarts.
Wow, that's
Hey.
crazy.
All right.
But I would never buy Pop
You
Tarts
have quite a
and
sweet
gummy
tooth.
worms.
Everything was sweet, wasn't it?
I would never buy them at the same time.
No salty snack.
Nobody eats more Pop-Tarts as an adult than Tyler.
Yeah, it's true.
I actually I bought one of those big bulk ones from, I don't know, it was HEB or something, and I've been working my way through. And I specifically bought,
Pop-Tarts?
Pop-Tarts and butter because nothing is better with a little butter on it than a
You know what's crazy? You said that, and I pictured the big Pop-Tart mascot from the Pop-Tarts bowl, and you just like working your way through by
Yes.
just eating like a couple bites out of this giant Pop-Tart.
human-sized Pop-Tart. I had it delivered. It came in a truck, and then it was sitting in my living room, and I'm munching my way down.
I'm gonna change my gummy worms to Chex Mix, but the like the barbecue
I like
flavor.
Chex Mix.
Oh.
So
As I age, I guess there's no better word. My stomach cannot, like, I will get a stomach ache if I eat I would just crush a bag of Haribo, no problem, and just be so powerful. And now it's just, I can't do it anymore. It's really sad because it's one of the things I love to do, but it's not good behavior.
You like the sugar and jelly form.
I love it. I love it in so many forms. All right, next question.
never mind.
That's a good one.
Virginia's for FRL also said, if you could pick one NCAA finals match this year to be a best 2 out of 3, which would you choose?
Dang. 74 would be cool. Maybe 41 with Mendez Aliris. I think that's going to be a great match.
Will it be?
Or Bo.
Is that going to be the final?
Or someone else.
I don't know.
Exactly. It's got to be one that I feel like it is more of a toss-up that could change, right?
But then it's like, how do you...
Meyer versus Ja'Cory, I think would be.
Yeah.
I'll go with that one.
Because if we're also
It is the final.
picking the finalist, like if it's just sight unseen, it's like, I don't know, make 125 because it might be the wildest.
Yeah.
Oh, like they wrestled the bracket twice through 2, and whoever gets spit
No,
out.
it's just finals.
No, I just mean like if I don't know who the finalists are going to be, if I can
Right.
pick the finalists, then yeah, like,
pick the finals.
oh, man.
All right, fine. Don't. You don't have to.
It also might be 184 just because those
Yeah.
are 2 of the best guys.
That's where my mind immediately went. Or you could get an AJ Ferrari action in at 197.
Oh yeah.
Ferrari,
Final antics?
Buchanan.
If the others
Ferrari
show
final
up.
antics.
Okay, good one.
All right. Next question is from Dominic Montano. He said, thoughts on how Ono would do in college if he went to Oklahoma State? You can just, if he went anywhere, any school.
Yeah.
Oklahoma State already has Sakamoto, so who's to say they can't get another Japanese team member?
He would do awesome anywhere.
No one's saying they can't.
He would win NCAAs. I think even potentially this year.
Wow.
Just because, I mean, I guess you could, because who's going to get on top at let's say 133?
This year.
Nasir Bailey's going to tech fall. Oh no, he'd have to tech him. You'd have to get on top, and that's because he's going to get so many takedowns.
You get one choice per match.
Yeah,
assuming you make it to.
You said who? That's the
Yeah,
one person that
that is the
I could
answer.
think of.
Yep, that is good. Man, yeah, I feel like with a couple months, he could do it. It could be insane. That could be a crazy take.
You know, this morning UWW in a post said he's going down to 57.
They did?
They confirmed it.
Really?
I'm gonna hit him up right now. Hey, pull up that UWW plane
I was
ride
just
thing.
pulling that up.
We meant to do that last show and we forgot. I'm
Plane
gonna
ride.
ask him. Cover for me, guys.
Okay. Basically, UWW posted this, and they said, "Where would you sit?" And this is a plain seating chart.
Well,
It's kind of a fun game.
this is a good one, but unfortunately, like all the no offense to anybody that was on either sides, the aisle and but I'm not doing a middle seat, so you can take out Yui Sasaki.
You would not pick a middle seat between Shimizu and Burroughs?
See, here's the thing. I have a thought on that one. Mm-hmm. There's a little heat there.
You think so?
Yeah.
They were just training with each other for the
That's
Olympic
true.
trials.
Oh, look at that. Okay. So now, okay, I liked 6E between those two, but for the same reason that B1, I don't want. It's like they're just gonna be talking across me. And I'm gonna be in that awkward like situation. Like Ono and Yui Sasaki are gonna be talking to each other, even though that's kind of where I want to sit.
Yeah, but you can't understand them.
I know that's even worse.
So you have to choose like at least one
Yui has
English speaker.
Yui has fantastic.
She has good English. I would choose 1B or between Sarah and Yazdani. I think that would be a good one too.
Sadie Cakes
There's
Fujinami.
very easy to talk to. I mean, literally no person on earth would choose 4F.
right next
Just
to
from a
Mariah.
pragmatic standpoint.
It's a window.
Yeah, I might because I like to sleep with the window on my right side.
Well,
Like, that is my ideal seat selection.
Well, I hope you like Zare on your shoulder. Probably snores.
I'm a little guy. I don't mind.
All right, you get snuggled up with Amir.
I'm going 5D, and then I'm just talking to Sidikov because I'm an aisle seatman. And then I'll just ask Sidikov a bunch of questions about
Yeah,
growing up
12,
in Ossetia.
12 hours.
Would you be scared talking to Sidikov in front of Jordan?
No,
Okay.
we'd all be respectful. And then
Yeah, Jordan's going to beat Spay up.
all of a sudden I just feel this like,
You talking to him? I don't think Sidikov speaks like a word of English.
well, that's what Google translates for. And I got Burroughs behind me, and then there's Tajudinov. I can reach back and talk. And who's next to Geno there in
Not sure.
5C?
Yeah.
Where? 5C?
Yeah,
I'm not sure. It's
No
kind of
quizzes.
blurry.
I do love aisle. I'm aisle through and through. I don't like the window. No one likes middle. So maybe I would go next to Tina Bakova.
and then Tiny Bakova up there.
Closer,
You got Dake above, Jordan back there. I think that's a good little neighborhood, 5D.
Oh,
That is a good neighborhood.
Ono said he posted that he would sit in 5D, and then in that way he would be able to talk to everyone as they walked by him to go to the bathroom too, which is the most Ono answer.
That's good.
Possible. That like absolutely maps to. his
Someone should be
Next
like,
level.
"Oh no, you're already on the seating chart."
Okay, Ono says yes, 90%. He's going down to 57.
Wow.
Oh,
How about that, boys?
okay. That's
Wait,
a
that
high
kind of
percentage.
adds a little weight to this Spencer Lee match. A little
Subtracts a
preview.
little weight
A
after.
preview to World Championships.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's great.
Wow, wow, wee, wow.
And did you ask him if you could say that on FRL?
I mean, UWW posted it.
If UWW,
kidding.
I'm going operating on y'all.
Everything you say to a journalist is on the record.
I don't think he would care. He's not.
Nah, I'm kidding. I don't think he cares. All right. Next question from Cody Pevler. He said, "Can Gadali win it next year?"
Well,
Pretty good question. I'll pull up the rankings.
so you lose a lot. You lose Gable, maybe. Who knows? Other rules? I don't know. Gable runs it back. Who's to say? Greg and
Wyatt.
are gone for sure. So then you're left with like Younger's back,
Maybe,
Younger.
Feldman,
assuming he. Doesn't race this
Gadali,
year.
Trumbull. I can. I would not say he can't. So therefore he can.
Trumbull.
I don't
Feldman,
think he
and
would be my pick, but
Oh, Trumbull's back too, huh?
Trumbull's back.
Heater. Wow.
Trumbull, Feldman, Keeter, maybe
Yeah.
Bastida.
Now, who would any? I wonder if any 97s would bulk up, and then what heavyweights could be entering the fray. I don't feel like there's a that level of a guy entering the the mix. That's probably gonna be a title contender. So yeah, I think Gadali could win NCAAs.
Boom.
He's out for the year. That's worth mentioning. He's gonna get a medical, and he expects to be back next year for the Camels.
All right.
Okay.
Next question. Brendan Nardine said, who would you pick to win Blaze versus Bassett?
So I would say in folk style, Bo is a big favorite. Freestyle gets interesting because, and I hope we see this match at some point. I think they're both going to end up being Olympic year 65s, would be my guess. And that's, I mean, what Marcus has done in freestyle is on the against senior level opponents is currently superior to the wins that Bo has. Now, that maybe doesn't matter that much when we're just talking about Bo versus Marcus, but you know, I don't know what style this person's asking for.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you don't have a lot of overlap yet, and like the wins Blaze got were obviously amazing, but it's not like Bassett or either of them are wrestling that level at a regular basis.
Bo wrestles a higher weight, but I don't think there's a real size difference there too much.
You don't think?
You think so?
I mean, Bo's a little bit bigger, but I know he's small.
Blaze,
no
Blaze
way.
has a frame, but
Marcus Blaze made 57 kilograms in April. He's got to be.
Yeah, and apparently that was like a terrible cut.
I'm sure as a top. I mean, he got third. Wasn't that bad?
there is a correct answer for this, and the winner would be, of course,
fans.
The fans.
Oh my gosh! I bet you Blaze walks around at like 140 right now, and I bet Bo walks around at like 145.
He was multiple pounds underweight for when we were there.
What does he
after
wrestle
working
at?
out?
Does he wrestle at 45?
Well,
44.
because the
44.
Pennsylvania weights are weird.
I bet you he walks around at like 145, 146.
I bet Blaze is not 140. I bet he's like,
Don't think so.
yeah, maybe.
He wrestled at 138.
I was just saying.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
just saying they wrestle different weight classes, but there's not a huge.
Yeah, you're
size
probably right.
advantage.
Man, who would?
It's
Kinda crazy,
more
right?
or less negligible.
Yeah, I guess it's because Bo has wrestled up in a lot of different events.
Mhm.
And I don't think he's cutting like any weight right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, I got Bo and folk style. That I feel strongly in. Freestyle, I think it's more of a toss up.
What do you think, chat? Let us know.
Yeah, chat.
Come on, chat.
I'll go.
Lock in, chat.
I'll go Marcus for now.
Okay.
All right, next question.
Wow.
from Dylan
After immediately
Dangerfield.
after getting my mind machine gunned.
Yeah.
He said, "Is it crazy to predict Blaze versus Kasich in Big Ten finals at 157?"
No, I think this is 57 this year doesn't have like that clear finalist, right? So it's not crazy. I mean, Blaze would need to be opposite Kasich because I don't think he's going to do it, and obviously he'll need to pull an upset at some point. But if you pull in Big Ten rankings, who are we looking at? Actually, yeah, it's crazy because Ja'Cory's going to be back. What are we talking about?
Oh yeah, a little crazy.
Tripping. Sorry, I went from with you, Dylan, to not. But
What if Ja'Cory's on the same side as Kasich and Kasich wins?
then they seeded it double.
What if he really means Marcus Blaze and he's talking about in the future?
Mm-hmm.
Does
That would be tough because they're on the same wrestling team. That'd be even harder.
That would be even harder. Next question. This kind of offends me because Avery Lynch said this
Yeah, me
question is
too.
only for Spay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Avery, you don't get to control that.
Hey guys,
We will-
lock in. Avery's got a question.
All right. What is your?
Said, What's one country you'd like Worlds to be at? He said, I'll go first, South Korea. Good pick.
Is this so? Is like the question? What's a country you want to visit?
Yes.
No. Where
pretty
do you want
much,
the
I
World
think.
Championships?
Oh, yeah. It's a combination of both.
It's just for pure visiting purposes. Like I've only been to East Asia once, to Japan. I think anywhere out there would be great. All the developed countries out there, from Singapore up to Japan and South Korea and Taiwan and et cetera, et cetera. I think it would be really cool.
All right. What do you think was a cool place for wrestling to be at? Where do you
America,
think would
baby.
be fans?
I mean, Iran is like the problem. So the point the next thing I was gonna say is that it's visas and travel internationally is only getting tougher and tougher with the way everything is going, like around the world, not just in the U.S., but certainly getting visas to come to the U.S. is tougher. Iran would be the coolest place because of their fans. That is what every international guy says.
Yeah.
Everyone that competes. I would love for Worlds to be there and then to go to Tehran or somewhere in Iran and be able to go with the assurance that you're in a group that's being looked after and not in danger. So that would be the number one pick. And then after that, any cool developed country or whatever, I think would be cool.
Second place, cool country.
Well, yeah, I mean, you could bounce around. I've been to South Africa before. That was a really cool place. I think
Dang.
more people. It would be nice to have that experience for people and for wrestling, because there is South African wrestling, and there's a guy on Ryder right now that's from South Africa that's starting. And met one of their coaches, and he's like, yeah, it's just super expensive, and there's not a lot of money for us to travel. So
Okay.
that would be number 2.
And there's a guy from South Africa that didn't go to Stanford. He went to Blair, Stanford.
Shane Griffith.
Yes. No, before them. Someone's in their car screaming it right now. I'm sorry.
There's definitely a guy that qualified for the NCAAs that's from South Africa in the past, maybe 15, 20 years ago.
All right, next question, because we don't get the answer.
No one else is allowed to answer. We are over time quite a bit.
Dude, yeah, I asked Ono for this year. He said yes, of course.
Wow.
Bro, that's crazy.
Okay. Well, all right, we got one more question from Finn Stefani. He said, am I crazy, or is there a ton of possible variance in Penn State's total number of national champs? It seems to be anything from 1 to 7 is legit possible.
That is true.
When's the last time they had this many contenders that weren't clear
It does feel
favorites?
like, I mean, I'm maybe just higher on Carter than the general population in terms of him versus Parker, which is fair. If you're not there, that's cool. But yeah, it does feel like they're going to be really contested. And I did my 10 NCAA champs confidence order, and it's my third most confident one was Carter. And when you go basically beyond Gable and then Mitchell, it's everyone is a really tough call, really tough. So yeah, Finn is onto something. I think there is potential variance. You just feel like they have so many guys with possibility they're going to settle at 3 or 4, and it's going to be another awesome performance. But yeah, you're right. They don't have like last year they had Starachi and Brooks were big favorites, and Levi was a big favorite. Maybe not at the time. We were maybe not.
Kirk last year was a pretty big favorite, right?
Kirk, yes, Kirk Fleet. I forgot about him. So yeah, no, I'm with him. It does feel like that. And last time they had this many contenders that weren't clear favorites, I'm not sure.
All right. It's pretty much all the questions.
What a show! This was fun.
Bob actually said, does Tyler have any more horse shampoo recommendations?
I don't understand that.
I didn't ask it because I don't have any more recommendations.
Just mane and tail.
Yeah, just mane and tail.
Just mane and tail.
We talked about it on the show a while ago.
Okay, I vaguely remember this.
It was a while ago.
What a show! National duels.
Ooh, yeah.
Able to talk about that.
Money.
Oh no, at 57. That's cool. Amazing duel breakdowns. This was a very complete show. I appreciate you guys tuning in for a very special edition Tuesday show, and it was special. We braved the elements like true courageous podcasters. We'll be back next Monday.
Yes.
That's a fact. A lot to get into. There'll be a lot of duel results to discuss. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Have a great week, and make sure you're watching a lot of wrestling live on Flow and not on Flow. Watch it all. Consume as much as you can, because we'll be talking about it on Monday. Have a great week, great weekend. Be safe. Thank you. Goodbye.